And Joe is the one who does everything, and the others just stand on stage and watch her.
Thanks, Derek.
They should have said stand there and look
How much
pretty.
has she paid you to say that?
In shadows we lurk, in shadows we play. This is Night Shift.
Yes, hello, welcome, Glass House Museum.
Hello.
Hello.
It seems bizarre that we haven't done this before. How long have we been sort of doing stuff together, and yet somehow this is the first time we've actually had a video chat? I don't understand why this is.
I think we had a go at a video interview with somebody else. Can't remember who. We tried to do it online in a similar frame a few years ago, and it just didn't work out. I think the internet in the studio wasn't great.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is basically this is literally our second interview
Yes.
ever.
Well, I if only it could have been the first, then, you know, I could have had sort of extra. I mean, why I don't know why you didn't sort of just have been begging me all these years for.
You're too busy, man. You're too busy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway, we should probably, in case people don't know who you are, but frankly that seems an absurd concept considering how incredibly massive, famous and popular a Glass House Museum are. We have, for the sake of listeners, we have Joe on the left.
Hello.
Even though she'll be on the right in the room. Joe on the left, Lee in the middle, and Jonathan on the right there. So, and Joe is the one who does everything, and the others just stand on stage and watch her.
Thanks, Darren.
They should say stand there and look
How much
pretty.
has she paid you to say that?
Well, you know, she paid in looking after me when I smashed my face in at.
Well, there is that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I could have carried on.
Not if Tony and myself have got anything to do with it. Get in that ambulance.
So anyway, yes, Joe takes lead vocals and some guitaring, and Lee plays the bass, and Jonathan plays the guitar. And so,
There's a bit of singing as well.
a bit of singing as well, you know. Just as I said, lead vocals are Joe, but I mean, it's not to say that Jonathan's not a significant contribution to things anyway. I mean, the thing is, you all are anyway. You know, sometimes maybe. Anyway, yes.
You guys are getting roasted. Something terrible.
Stand by, Lima. Your turn next.
I know. I'm living in fear right now.
Right, so all we want now is just to interview the guy who invented World Goth Day, and the other two can leave now. No.
Should we go to the pub?
So yeah, I mean, I've known of you quite some years now, but this is coming up is going to be your incredible debut in Doncaster. So maybe we should get you to explain to the wonderful denizens of Doncaster what Glass House Museum are all about and how you're going to be completely amazing for them. I mean, it saves me a job. So
Right.
First time ever, silence.
Well, I suppose, I mean, I'm not very good at this kind of stuff, so I'm just going to throw it there. What you're gonna find with ourselves, you're going to find some songs which you're probably going to like. There might be some songs that you might not like, but there will be certain things where you think, actually, that hits a nerve, and that's what we try and do with our music, with lyrics and with the sound and everything. So hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
and does all the lyrics come from Joe, or is it a shared responsibility?
It's I'd say it's probably a shared responsibility, really, because you know, sometimes I'll write a song lyrically on my own, and John will do the same, or we'll just like Gracious and Roulette. John wrote both of them. Can be found on our latest EP. But you know, Tides we've written together, and we do write a lot of songs together, lyrically, and then musically we all sort of, perhaps John will have a riff, or I'll have a riff, or Lima will come up with a drum beat and a bow bow bass riff.
Yeah.
Like Some Way From Home, that was an idea that Lima had, and with the music, and I just put the lyrics to it. So, but it's more of a collab.
It's a shared effort. Yeah, it's a collaboration. Everything, everybody contributes in varying levels, and like I said, the inspirations and that come from it's like come from absolutely anything. I mean, The Gracious was a track that was just made. It's like Johnny was just putting together a bit of a riff, and it was that, you know, it was just like looped over and over. Then I tried a bass, then I changed the key of what I was playing, and then stuff started rolling from there on in, really. And we almost immediately had an idea of what we were going to do with that. So yeah, I mean, it is on the whole a very collaborative writing partnership.
Oh, he went a bit. Did you notice he went a bit posh then?
I heard there that there is sometimes a bit of bow bow wow in the bass, but is there ever any bow chicka bow wow?
No, there's sometimes some. So yeah, there's that. But I think that's probably something I've got to do this year. Should change the bass tone. Just like maybe I'm using 2 different tones. Maybe I should introduce a third. I mean, I've been in the band for long enough. Probably show some variance.
I mean, if you get a Boss octave pedal, then you can have 3 separate tones apparently.
Yeah.
So also I've only relatively recently discovered that glass house can be a term for a jail or prison or some such. It's only been about in the last year I've discovered that. Is that indeed where Glass House Museum comes from, or is it some other concept of glass house?
Well, to be fair, it's because I'm a little bit obsessed with Victorians and Art Deco-y stuff, and I know a few years.
Basically, that's just what you call being involved in goth. Old goths love Victorian stuff, Art Deco stuff, Art Nouveau. Look, that just.
But the idea for the glass house was that the great exhibition with Crystal Palace, really.
Yes, indeed.
So I just thought it was we were going to call ourselves the Glass House, but then obviously we realised that there was another band called the Glass House, and that was sort of more influenced by the Christian death song In This Glass House. So we had a little mix up, didn't we, John?
Yeah, we sort of just came, I suppose, when we first put the band together, the original idea was that we would probably collaborate with various different people. So the other side of the museum side of it was more of a museum of music. So people would come in and maybe stop for a while and move on, and then it sort of never worked out like that. I've been
hoping he'd move on for 14 years.
Hey, no swearing, please. This is, it's not watershed yet.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I think we came together with 2 different sort of aspects of the name, and my side of it was more so a transparency, so a glass house, a transparency, and then the museum side being the fact that we would have different people which would come in and drift out. But we actually sort of found in the end that the stability of our previous bass player, Harry, who's a good mate
Mr.
of ours, before he decided to leave and go off to France.
Bonjour.
And yeah, and then Mr. Lima here, we met Lima. Basically, you came to one of our gigs, didn't you?
They found me in a skip.
Yeah.
But we'd sort of known Lee and
because we met at Whitby with
Whitby and
Majid.
Yeah,
and DJing as well.
Gifford Arms, Wolverhampton. I think we met there too.
Yeah. So once he decided he would give it a go, we sort of just got settled, and we've written some. I think we've written some good music together. So there's no need to change things in that sense.
Yeah, no need to sort of switch things up if you found
the
person that was. And sort of speaking of sort of musical projects, did Codename Lola exist before Glass House Museum, or is that only something that's developed during the time?
Barely. Now that you ask. I think I did. Yes, the first ever Codename Lola track I did was in 2016. But that may have been, which would have been. I joined Glass House 2017 officially. The thing I did in 2016 was a cover of a version of a track called New Dark Age by The Sound, and I did it with another guy who I so long since sort of lost contact with. He's just fallen off the face of the earth. So yeah, but that had been sat there for a bubble, but it'd been sat there for several years before I did anything useful with it. Really only relative recent years as remixes and covers and things.
Yeah.
Till this year, I started doing original stuff.
So are you now about to leave Glasshouse Museum and
absolutely bloody not. I cannot leave these two unattended anyway.
And to be fair, yeah, they just get into far too much trouble and cause too much mayhem without you around, I'm sure.
I really don't know what you're talking about.
I have to be the adults in the room.
Speaking to our mum.
Yeah, so how do you come from sort of different musical influences at all? Does each person have sort of their own particular sort of inspirations which may lead into Glasshouse Museum?
I would think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, obviously, the three of us like the same bands, but we all like sort of different stuff as well. So
yeah, I mean, we're fairly wide in our musical tastes, and they overlap within this band. But then there's the stuff that we would listen to outside of the band as well. I mean, I don't know. Do you think some of that leaks into?
I think
right.
I think it's got to, hasn't it? Really,
I suppose so. Yeah.
You what you hear and what you listen to. I think maybe not obviously note for note or anything like that, but certainly there's influences which will, the things that you listen to will influence, otherwise there would be no, effectively, there'd be no scene of anything, would there? So, I personally myself, I sort of bounce around various different stuff. I love things like Ride, like early indie stuff, A Perfect Circle and stuff like that. So I'm sort of like two ends of different spectrums, if you like. The Smiths and stuff like that, I like all of that stuff, but and I love all the old goth stuff, and Joy Division is a great band that I've followed and what have you. So I think you mold all your influences and the things that you listen to, and that creates your own sound, hopefully. For most people, it doesn't work with everybody, but
I mean,
he says, glancing at me.
And Joe's taste is just awful, says John. But Lee, I sort of known sort of with the codename Lola, there's often been a lot more electronic side to that. Is that something that perhaps you've deliberately gone for, or is your influence often comes quite a bit from electronic side of things?
No, it's something I choose to do with that. I mean, it's it's post-punk and synthwave. I mean, on a very sort of broad palette, it's the stuff I choose to do that doesn't fit the sound of Glasshouse. Yeah. That's the other part of me. So it's like, whereas we're quite contained, like within guitars and drums and stuff. Occasionally there is keyboards and that, but I do have a part of me that likes to write the synth stuff too. So that's what I do.
But with Fadeout, you get a lot of music through your ears, don't you?
Yeah, because I mean, as you know as well, I mean, I do, it's like a monthly mix, and years ago it was an actual podcast. Yeah, but yeah, so there's I soak in a lot of new music on an almost constant basis.
Yeah, which obviously, I mean, it is important just to experience new things coming in, because you never know how it's going to influence things. So also we need to sort of, I know it's we get plenty of the usual sort of classic sort of average interview questions, but as you say, you've not really exactly done many interviews, but so as you say, number 2. But anyway, which seems bizarre. But anyway, I should also ask the age-old sort of question of what subjects do inspire Glasshouse Museum in their writing, musically and lyrically.
I think lyrically, I mean, it can be anything really. I mean, news items, state of the world or whatever, feeling pissed off with something at work, or
you often bring in a little notebook, don't you, that has lyrics in, so when we're trying to banding ideas about
I just like
I have
to do it the old style way. longhand way. But yeah, I mean, like a song like Jericho, I mean, that was obviously, I'm sure people know now. I mean, I wrote that in about 2019, I think, and basically about the the refugee camps and stuff in Calais, and how people were being treated, and sadly, however many years on, we're still seeing that kind of thing happening. I try not to be too political, but then again,
that's almost impossible in this day and age.
This day and age, just everything just seems to be in the world just seems to be there to rile us all up. And when you've got the rise of reform and the likes of Trump, everything is just frequently seems so incredibly horrible, and that's very frustrating. So what was the committee inspired by? Because that is, I mean, I want to cover that just because I've played that a lot on previous shows because it's such a cracking track. It's just, like first time I heard it was actually live, possibly at some gig or something. I'm not sure anyway, but
it's probably something you put on.
That tends to be the case. I've had you a few times at my events. Been slacking a bit lately, apart from I did finally. I mean, I because you're all such fantastic people and I love you all so much. I really did want you to come along for my sort of 50th birthday gig, and just to have you along is just going to mean a hell lot to me. But it's just so good to have your company. Oh, stop being so stupid, soft, honestly.
Get him a tissue.
So what's the committee all about then?
Well, sort of, it was inspired by Western that I watched. I'm a bit of a Western freak as well, so I love stuff like that. And it was just, it was like a phrase that one of the antagonists said. So I thought, bang that in my notebook. That might come into handy. And then it just sort of, sometimes you feel like you're doing as best you can, and then like somebody comes along and sort of nicks your ideas or whatever. It was mainly about having a whinge about work in my own little way. So
there seems a certain vehemence to delivery to that one. So I think that possibly being about work certainly tends to suggest why. But
no, I mean it depends. It depends on what mood I'm in, to be fair, when I'm singing it. So sometimes it can be about I don't know, people I've met, or I sort of like try and like people to sort of make their own minds up about the songs, and sort of adapt it to how they might read into it. Do you know what I mean? I think that's sometimes the joy of writing stuff, and I mean, I never used to tell the lads what anything was about. So this is
true. Yes.
Lee was like, so what's that song about? Everyone never mind, just get on with the bass.
Mind your own business.
But
so, do you perhaps each have a favourite song to perform / play?
Oh, bloody hell. That's a hard one, because I suppose like every band, it's like all the last sort of stuff that they've done, but
which have been some of your most enjoyable tracks that you've done? Are there any which maybe have a certain thing when you do them live that is sort of an aspect of it that it seems to come out more live, or anything like that? And again, for all of you, each of you have to answer in turn, and you need to reply with at least 5,000 words. And
Johnny likes Balboa. He does like play Balboa.
Yeah, Balboa. It's a bit sort of, I suppose, it's one of our more heavier tunes, I would say. But when me and Lee wrote that, didn't we? The music for
during
it
lockdown,
during lockdown. So it was started off with an idea of a riff that I had, and I recorded myself and sent it to these guys, and then we couldn't do anything from there effectively. So it was sort of on the back burner. And then when the time when we could get back in the studio again, we sort of cracked on with that. And I suppose that one for me, I like playing that live because I sort of lose myself, you know, sort of.
You lose yourself in the music, the moment.
In the music,
It's less doing music.
We all know a song about that, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So Balboa for me, yeah. I like it, and I like Joe's lyrics, and I like how it all sort of amalgamated together. And I mean, most people might hate it. I don't know, but but that's one of the ones that I enjoyed playing live.
So
Me?
come
Oh,
on,
Jesus.
Mr. Meadows.
Okay.
You've got
All right.
cancer now. You're
It's an older track, pre-COVID, The Presence, which is the Artifacts.
Oh yes,
The Artifacts EP. It's the nearest I get to playing a disco bass.
right.
And not only that, it's one of our more lighter songs because it was actually based on a true story. The true story being we felt a literal supernatural presence in the room while we were one rehearsal,
Right.
and a song was born of that. It is a silly song. It's meant to be silly,
Right.
but it is my favourite one for actually kind of playing with like bass wise, because you know if in the breakdown, very occasionally in rehearsal, I will just go for Groove Is in the Heart. It's needless, but you know, but I reward myself with it if I've managed to not
Can't
drop
we
any
get
notes.
a Glass House
in-
Museum cover of that now? Then. Yeah.
It probably will never happen, but thank you for asking.
Well, I bet you could do the Swanee whistle though, John. Can you?
No,
Yeah.
I can't do that. No, definitely
So, yeah.
not.
That's me. And now on to Joe.
Oh God. Oh, I don't know, because there's so many that we've done. Just trying to think. I do like playing. I mean, there's a lot that we don't play now. To be fair,
We have a lot of
off
songs.
some of the other EPs and that. So, I do like roulette. I like playing that because I do actually manage to play the guitar properly on it without making a mess occasionally. But I don't know really. I do like playing. I like doing Jericho, but it did get to the point where we were doing it every gig, and I was thinking it's losing its meaning a bit, you know. Glory Hunters I like doing as well, you know, because I can have a good ring with the old guitar. But yeah, I suppose it just depends, doesn't it? Like I say, what mood you're in. If you're like, you know.
And the thing is with Jericho, like Joe was saying, so we there was a point where we were playing that every single gig we ever played, and it was just sort of like, you know, okay, we must be doing this to death by now, and then we'll have people coming up to us as when we go out to gigs and that, and they'll come before we played. It's like, so you're going to be playing Jericho, and it's like,
God, no.
so yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's a bit of a weird one like that.
I mean, there's been several tracks over the years I've sworn never to play again, but ended up doing anyway. You know,
Yeah.
So you get sometimes a bit sick of people being fond of a track. What, people like something you do? Oh, that must be terrible.
I know.
I remember seeing you sort of posting about it on Facebook about how someone had remarked on that you seem to be sort of heading in a heavier sound to the band. So let's have you talk a little bit about that.
Oh well, that was probably my post.
Yes, it was indeed, and you know
Yeah.
you are the lead.
And
You
it
are
is,
in
'cause
charge of the
it
band.
was-
You know?
it had been mentioned. We'd played Cannock it's like a couple of weeks ago, and it's like a couple of people, a couple of very separate people, and they remarked on kind of how much kind of heavier we sounded. We, at the moment, we're trying to kind of rediscover ourselves a little bit, in as much as like people have gotten quite used to how we sound. All the people out there who've only ever kind of seen this one interview of us will be going, I have no idea how you sound. but we needed to do something a little more different. We're looking to explore ideas, because in no uncertain terms, I mean, as much as we have kind of played lots and lots of gigs, it's actually getting increasingly more difficult to get the gigs that we would like to play.
Right.
In general, obviously, it's like yourself and Joel Hayes, notwithstanding, who have been absolute darlings to us.
Because
but
you're lovely and brilliant,
struggle.
that's why.
Give it over.
But we do struggle to get gigs still. You know, I mean, so we play lots of events, but actual sort of like the sort of gigs, they're hard to come by. And for a while, I felt, I don't know, was it born of self-doubt? I'm not sure. I think for me it was that, okay, maybe we're just not dark enough, maybe we're just not goth enough.
Yeah.
So what have we got to do? So we are in the process of kind of like tossing around ideas and sounds and things, and just try and mix things up for ourselves.
Yeah.
And
I think from my point of view, in terms of the guitar side of things, it's like you can fall into the trap of your own sound, and I think that's sort of where we sort of, in some respects, found ourselves. I think to sort of just touch back on the sort of comments that you mentioned to individuals that sort of said about the heavier sound. We've got that much of a back catalogue of music that we sort of, you try and pick the mood of what you think people might want or people might like. So although the Cannock gig that we played and probably Coventry to a certain extent was probably more of our heavier sort of side of songs, more upbeat and more sort of intense in terms of the heavier sound. But the next gig we might play, or your gig, might be completely different again. So we try and mix and match it. But I think it's for us to not feel and fall comfortable with our sound. And me personally, with the guitar, I'm experimenting with different sounds and different sort of styles and what have you. And with probably the new tracks that we'll visit in the next few months, there might be a change again. So it's you just got to go with what your gut is. But our intention is not to be heavy.
No, but just to explore maybe what else might.
And maybe a little bit more raw as well. I feel that's a lot of the synths in songs. Neither of us want that to become an expected thing. I mean, it's like it started off as a guitar band. It's like, so songs like Tide, songs like the orchestral version of Jericho that we play in that, we don't want that to become like an expected formula. We're not a formulaic band. We have many songs of different styles, of different moods, and I think we just kind of rediscover ourselves a little bit, rediscover and reinvent.
And that sounds pretty exciting. I mean, the thing is, if anything, if like the committee's anything to go by, it's definitely very, very fine things afoot. So one sort of final sort of quick thing for Mr. World Goth Day. How do you
keep picking on me.
Yes, and it's fun because of your connection to what is happening tomorrow, so to speak. It's that World Goth Day. How do you feel it sort of is sort of in a way sort of rather co-opted, and it feels to me like it sort of is maybe a bit stolen from you. Maybe that's the wrong word, but I don't know, some people seem to act as if they're the people who are the instigators of it all, when in fact it is you.
It was created with the sole purpose of it being the possession of everyone in the goth community. it was literally everything about the entire concept was like, here's your idea, go and run with it, and they are, and that's fine. And this year we have more events running globally than we've had in previous years.
It's about 10 million by the looks of things.
No, probably somewhere in the regions like 140, 130, 140. I stopped counting, and I'm still adding more events to the website every as we speak, and I probably will tomorrow too.
And I'll probably release this tomorrow on World Goth Day.
Because, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing, really, isn't it?
And it is still a fabulous...
He's done all right, hasn't he? He's done all right.
That's my one good idea.
I mean, the royalties he's getting from it all are just huge.
Like if I could fit them in this tin. Just right here.
Oh, show the public what tin that is, please.
Yeah, that's the Glasshouse Museum tin.
Wow.
It's like never knowingly sort of undermerching. This is our latest pick tin design that Joe.
I like this one. Oh, yes, is my favourite.
This one's lovely here too.
Right. See, they're just here to shill their wares. That's all, you know.
You're damn right.
Not at all. However, we do have T-shirts as well.
Buy our stuff. Buy our stuff. Right.
Oh, sorry, where were we? World Goth Day, crack on!
Yeah. And what's the telephone line to call in to purchase? Yes, this is teleshopping after all. Yes, anyway, it's been... I'm kind of running out of time of the Zoom chat thing, so we'll have to about leave it there, but it's been absolutely splendid to talk to you, as it always is, to spend time in your company. I mean, I do think... When I played with you in Coventry, that was just a fantastic performance from you.
No, thank you.
And you too, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with mine, but there you go. It doesn't help when you can't actually see anything. But hey,
none of us ever come away from a gig thinking, "So that was brilliant." So we'll come back. Yeah, we're our own worst critics,
aren't we? Oh, definitely. But anyway, I greatly appreciate you coming along to play Doncaster, which obviously there's nothing more exciting than playing Doncaster, of course. And just think, there's like Reform Council officers just around the corner, and it's just so lovely. And we're gonna. I think I felt we'd make it supportive of trans rights, because there seems to be so... I mean, New Zealand has just announced a stupid biological sex thing as... It just makes you sick. So let's fight back, all of us. Believe the same thing, I know, but...
Yeah, because I'm getting particularly... I know you are too, getting particularly fed up of conservative men thinking about other people's genitals.
I know, it's just weird. Why are they so obsessed?
I thought they'd always had done, hadn't they?
This is true, but then turning it into law, and that seems to be the problem right there.
It very much is. Conservative men are the problem. In fact, men just generally, I can't stand them.
Get out of my house!
Anyway, I look forward to seeing you on the 20th of June. When you come and play a nice, fabulous church, so we'll have a nice religious...
we're playing in an actual church. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and it's not a very churchy church, but it sort of feels more like a concert hall than a church. But it's got some church paraphernalia
Churchification.
around. And I mean, I did do a video from the pulpit there, which is going to be released tomorrow. So
Cool.
Right, anyway, so I shall see you then, and it's always lovely to talk to you and see you.
Thanks,
so
Derek.
I look forward to spending more time with you all. All right, goodbye. Thank you.
Cheers, Derek. See you soon.
Bye.
I will clear.
And again, one quick word, you know, I know it's not a super trans people showcase or anything, but again, I just want to help where I can in a situation. Yes, there's plenty of other good causes like anti-racism and all manner of things, but I just felt this was on such a rise, the transphobia, that I really wanted to help in the fight against it. You just choose a cause sometimes and go with it, and I mean, it's because I've known many wonderful trans people, and there are some playing my event, and it's just people just wanting to live their lives how they feel they should be, and you know, all these rulings from the High Court, and the government's yet to make a proper statement about them, and there's so much confusion and hate that is so much on the rise. I just want to do a little bit what I can to help redress the balance by saying, look, stop hating people who are just trying to be people. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to say, and we're going to support mermaids with any profits made from this event. As I've said before, 50% goes to mermaids until costs are paid, then 100% goes to mermaids after the costs. So there you go.